Yeah, guys. I think let us start. Seeing everyone is in. So today we are going to start with window function. I am assuming that everyone is well equipped with joins and all the other basics. So Windows function is an advanced topic in SQL, and I think it is going to be very handy for all of you because this will help you prevent writing big queries. And most of the interviews, they usually specify that the interviewer might ask you that do this particular question using window function. And it is not a very difficult topic if you understand the basic well, right? So no need to worry. But yeah, sometimes I have seen many candidates dread this topic. Even I, in my initial years, face difficulties to understand it. But I think if you just pay attention, I'm going to simplify it for you, and I think you shall be good to go. Let me just share my screen with you. Uh, yeah, just let me know if my screen is visible, right? Yes. So let's start. So first, I'll tell you what window function is. Then I'll simultaneously switch between uh, the the query editor and the Blackboard. So window function is nothing but which breaks down a SQL table into different frames, right? So it is nothing. So window is nothing but what it means. Like it breaks a table into some window, some frame, and then on this frame you do some calculation, right? It is similar to group by, but I'll tell you what the difference between group by and window function is. So let us take one example. I'll just open the query editor. So let us say we have this table here. The table name is sales, right? Let me see. Select star from sales. So see, you see this is the sales table that I have, right? We have some sales employee, some fiscal year. I hope this is visible to everyone. If you don't, or if you face any difficulty in viewing this, just let me know. So this is the sales table having the employee name, the fiscal year, and the sales. So let me say that if I tell you find what was the total sales in every year, every fiscal year. So I think everyone is now comfortable with this. I will not ask. I'll simply type select uh, sum of sales. Sale from sales uh, grouped by fiscal year, right? So this should give you the total sales every year, right? See, what will this do? If you can see, I can even type the fiscal year. Can even show the fiscal year, right? So what this is doing is it is simply adding every fiscal year and clubbing this. This is what the group by does, right? Now a similar type of thing can be done using window function, but I'll tell you what is the difference between window function and group by. So let's say if we had this fiscal year, right, and sale, right, so the fiscal year is 2016, 2016, 2017, 2017, and the sale is let's say 10, 20, 30, 40. So if you do a group by here, right, so your group by fiscal year, what will this do is, as we have already seen, 2016, and we are doing sum also, sum of sale. This will do 10 plus 20, which is 30. And then 2017, this will do 30 plus 40, which is 70. Now, if now just pay attention to what I'm typing here. Let's say I'm typing select star. Star will give me both the columns, and then again I am putting comma and I'm writing and I'm typing this sum sale. Right. Good till here. Let's say if I'm typing this over uh, partition by fiscal year. Right. Let me name this as uh, total sales. See, don't worry about these syntax. I'll explain this to you. Just pay attention to the outcome. What will the outcome be? What I want is select star. So that means I'll get a fiscal year column. I'll get a sale column. And now after the comma, I have something written here. I don't know what this is, but I know that alias for that is total sales. So I'll have a total sales column, right? So I should get something like this. I'm not having any group by, so I am not going to get any clubbing as the group by used to do. But what I'm going to get is 10, 20, 30, 40. What I'm going to get here is 30, 30, 70, 70. Uh, What is this? This is nothing but the total sales for 2016, which is now marked against each row. And then this is nothing but the total sales for 2017, which is displayed against each row, right? So, what we have done is we have summed the sales, right? We have summed the sales over. Over is a clause that you'll use, and you will partition. This is a window function which I have written. I'll explain how this thing works, but just understand what is happening here. You are summing over sales, right? So you are summing over sales, and you are not summing over the entire sales, and you don't have any group by, so you don't know where to sum this. But this clause over means on which particular partition, on which particular window you have to do this. You specify the window by using partition by clause, partition by, and then you specify the column name, partition by fiscal year. So that means it will create such windows or partition in the fiscal year, just as group by used to do. But now instead of clubbing it together and collapsing it and just giving you 30 in as one row, what it will do is it will it will add the fiscal year, or it will add the sales for each window partition, and then it will display it against each row, right? I hope you're following me. This might be a little tricky to get it at first, but I think with more example you'll get. So when you use such kind of syntax, so sum is like a window function. Let me just use a general name. Let me call some window function, right? Window function. It could be anything. Then you will specify the column name, or if you don't have any column name, it's okay. Column name over. Over is again the syntax. You can either specify something or you can leave it blank. I'll tell you what the difference is. Let us just specify partition by. Pay attention to this clause. Then you'll again specify some column name on which you have to partition this window or this table, partition by something, right? And then you give a alias to this as something, alias for that column. This is how you write a window function, and variations of this we are going to study today. Here you can have any window function. I'll tell you what are the different window functions. Here you can add few more things in this parenthesis. You can give any area, right? So just remember these three key points. These three key syntax. Some function, over is a clause that you'll use for window function, and then lastly you will give an alias. What window function does is it creates a separate column, right? It separates a separate column in the table. The alias name will be displayed here, and then here you will get whatever values you are wanting based on this window function, right? It might be a bit confusing, I understand, but let me give you another example, or let me simply show this to you using query editor. So let us again take this table for example, right? You'll understand the difference once I show you group by and window function simultaneously. So here what you see, we have uh, sales employee, fiscal year, and sales. Let's say I use a window function. I just want to find the total sales, but instead of clubbing it, I want for each employee, I want for each year, what was the total sales. So for example, select, uh, let me put, let me want everything. Uh, sum sale over partition by, let me partition by fiscal year as total sales from sales. Now, just see, what I'm doing is, first I'm selecting star. That means I want these three rows, these three columns, all the columns from this table, and then another column because I've specified a comma. That means I'll get something in some column, and the column name will be total sales. What is this total sales going to do? It is going to partition this table on the fiscal year. That means it will partition that, it will create partition for each fiscal year, just like group by used to do. So 2016 will be one partition, 2017 will be one partition, 2018 will be one partition. We have only three partition here, right? And then for each partition, it will calculate the sum, and that sum will be done only for that partition, right? So here, as I have shown you, so here I have different partition. Let me just 2016, 2017, 2018, 2016, 2017, 2018, right? Here 20, 30, 40, 20, 30, 10, right? This is the year, this is the sale. Now what I'm doing is I'm summing by sale, but this sum will not happen for this entire table. This sum will happen over partition by year, right? So I'm going to get a window frame for every year. So that means 2016 will be in 1 year. So what is this machine going to do? It is going to create partition for 2016. So how many values we have for 2016? 20. Then I have 20. Then for 2017, what I'll have? 30 and 30, right? And then for 2018, I'll have 40 and 10. So now for each partition, now I have got, now this particular over clause has created this partition, right? Now for each partition, I'm going to sum over the sales, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sum these two and then display it. So 40, right? Again, this is the same partition. This is going to be 40. This is 30. So this will sum it over the entire partition. So this will be 60. This will be 60. Now this is 40 and 10. So this is 50. So this will be 50 and this will be 50, right? And here, let me give an alias as total sales. So this column is going to be total sales, right? So this is what window function does. So just like group by, but instead of grouping and or just giving me one row and the summation there, it is going to give me summation for every row within this partition. So this partition or this window is why it is called as window function, right? So if I just run this query here, I'm going to get this, right? So for 2016 fiscal, the total summation is 200 plus 300, 400, 450, right? For 2017 window, you see 100 plus 150 plus 150, which is 400, right? This is 450, this is 400. And then for 2018 partition, I'm getting 200 plus 200 plus 200, which is, and then I think one more, 200 plus 200 plus 250, which is 650, right? So see what it is doing. It is not collapsing the entire row. Rather, it is giving me this window function. Now this could be anything. This could be average. This could be, there are other window functions which I'm going to teach you today. So this is how window function is going to work. Now someone might ask me that what if I want to show the entire what, instead of partitioning by year, like instead of getting the total sum by year, what if I want to show the total sales, right? Total sales of this particular organization, right? I don't want the year-wise breakage. I want total sales, and I want the total sales to be displayed in this separate column. So you just remove this partition by, right? So partitioning means you are creating the frame, but if you just remove this partition by, you simply put over. So this is now going to do it across the entire table. We have no partition here, right? So we don't. So the computer will not know which partition we are going to, or on which partition or on which frame I want to do the summation, right? So it will, now when I run this, I'll run these two simultaneously so that you get the difference clearly. Just observe the difference now. So in the first one, which is total sales, let me give this total sales too. So in the total sales column, what I'm getting is I'm getting the sum of sales on the entire table. So this is 150 plus 100 plus 200 plus 100 plus 100. So this will be 1500, right? But now when I'm partitioning, it will calculate the sum for one partition. And as this partition ends, what is this partition? Partition is a fiscal year. So as this 2016 ends, the next partition, it will again start, right? So this is the shifting of partition from 2016 to 2017. So here the partition changes and then it will again calculate the total only for this partition, right? And then as it switches to the next partition, now it will do calculate the sum for this partition, right? So this is what is a window function, right? And variations of this, using different functions here, using the different partition here. Sometimes you can use order by here, which I'll teach you. This is how this is what is window function. And if you understand the crux of it, if you understand how is this partition creating and being created, and then what is the function being applied for each partition, right? If you can visualize this thing in your mind, I think window function is done for you. Now you just need to know the syntax. Now I want to ask you, I want to stop and ask you, are you guys following me? Is there anyone who is having even small doubt in understanding how this partition or window function is functioning? Ask me very like upfront. Don't shy. Anyone? I'm pausing for a while. If there's anyone who has not understood whatever I've taught until now, you can just raise your hand or you can unmute and talk.
Hi Neil, it's Prashant.
Yeah, Prasant.
How are these Windows functions used in real world applications?
Real world application, yeah. I'll now we'll come to that when we are, actually doing projects or when we are actually. But see, one of the real world problem, or I think, if I ask you to find, uh, let's say if I'm using the function somewhere, right? If I tell you that in this table, right? Let us take this table for example. Now this is a table. Alice is an employee who in 2016 made a sale of rupees 150, in 2017 made a sale of rupees 100, and in 2018 made a sale of rupees 200, right? Then Bob is a person who made some sales, and then John is a person who made some sales, right? Now a real world application could be if I ask you that find the maximum sale that each employee made, right? What is the maximum amount of sale that each employee made in a but it could be any year. So what I want is, for example, if you can visualize this here, Alice made the maximum sale of rupees 200, right? Then Bob made a maximum sale of rupees 200, right, in 2018, and John made a sale of rupees 250 in 2018, right? So what if I just want to know that the employee name, right, and the sale and the maximum sale that they made? There could be many methods to do that, right? You can do a group by and you can select a max. That is one way, right? But that will give you like a maximum sale for that will just give you the name of the person and then the maximum sale. Uh, Group by is a one good method, but slowly you'll understand that how window function or finding a maximum here using window function will help. If I further complicate the question by asking you, give me the difference between the maximum sale made by the person and the sale of that particular year and show me the difference, right? For example, let us take this example. Let me just show you this maximum sales first, right? So I'll just copy paste this query, right? Instead of this, I'll simply use the max function, and then over what I want is for each employee the maximum sale that they made. So the partition will be by the sales employee for this column, right? Partition by sales employee. So what this does is this will create partition by this column, and in this column these three are columns. So this will be one frame, this will be other, Alice will be one frame, Bob will be all one frame, and in this frame you will find the maximum of sale. So that's what we have done, maximum of sales, and then this will be the max sales, right? So now let me just run this. See, so you see the maximum sale for Alice is 200, so I get 200 here. The maximum sale for Bob is 200, and then maximum sale for John is 250, right? So this is easy. This can be done by group by. But now, what if I tell you that show me the difference between the maximum sales and the sales made by the person in that particular year, right? So that will give me how much difference is between, how much difference that person is making in sales as compared to his maximum potential, right? So what I can do is, just give me a moment. I think this. ओए उसे चुप रहने बोलो अंदर ले गया रूम में yes. So what if I tell you to find the difference between these two? So you can simply do this by creating another column, writing exact. Just pay attention to what I'm writing. See, did you get what? Did you see what? How window function can help us get the difference between the maximum sale that the person made and the sale that particular year? So 200 minus 150, which is minus 50. So this person is minus 50 behind. This minus sign will indicate that he's minus 50 behind his maximum sale. Then this person is minus 100 behind the maximum sales that he made. This is zero. So this means he had break even. Like this was the year where he made the maximum sale. Now these can be used in real world problem. Sometimes the interviewer might ask you, or especially if not interviewer, let's say if you're working as an analyst in an e-commerce company and you want to know that what is the price range, right? That let's say if a particular product, let's say a mobile phone, is or let us not take mobile phone. Let us take some food item, right? That food item is running some discount every year or every day, and now you want to find that the maximum price that that particular food item on Swiggy was, the difference between the maximum price item that this particular food was and the price that the food is selling at now, at current, like the current price and the maximum price that the food had. It could be at any year or any day, right? So now this will show you how much behind or how much difference is between these two values. This could be used for employee salary. This could be used for let's say if there's a car sales table, so you can use this window function or these kind of calculation to find the difference between the maximum sales or the minimum sales or the total sales and how much sales we are lagging behind, leading behind. So these are the real world application which you will be using as a data analyst. So you cannot do this using group by function, or you can do this, but you will have to use table join. But this, in just 4 lines, uh, you get the entire answer, pretty quick. And this is a fast way of doing it. Uh, I'm going to show you multiple examples eventually, but I hope you're getting me right here. Are you following me here? Who asked this question? It was Prasant. Prasant, did you get it?
Yes, thank you. I did.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else is not following? I know it might be overwhelming at the moment, but just follow my lead. I think you will understand this pretty clearly eventually as we move forward. Any other question until now? Anyone having any problem understanding? Ask me the silliest question that I'm not understanding what is partition by. I'm not understanding what did you do here? Like, did you guys get it? If yes, if no one is answering, then I'm going to pose a question here. All right, so I'm assuming that everyone is getting it. So let us like now move forward. Uh, Now let us take this table, employee table, for example. Right. So I have this table, which is employee. So this is like the usual table which we use, which is the employee ID, employee name, the department name, and the salary, right? Now, can you tell me? I want the result something like this, right? I want a result like what I have: employee ID, name, department, and salary, right? So this is my table. Uh, Here departments are different. One is HR, one is IT, one is product, one is admin, then again one is HR. Now, without using group by, if I just ask you that give me a separate column, and that column should show me the maximum salary, right, of the entire organization, right? I should get this table plus a separate column that should show me the maximum salary for this entire organization. So now, if you understand the basic of window function, I think it should be easier for you to answer this. So I'm going to pinpoint at someone so that this session could be interactive session. Let's go with let's go with Pratik. So Pratik, how are you
Yes,
going to
sir.
do this?
Sir, select star, comma,
Just
sum of,
just a
maximum salary.
select star from
Select star, comma,
comma, yeah,
maximum salary, max
maximum
of salary,
salary. Okay, good.
over partition by department name
No, I don't want it department wise. I want for the entire organization.
for the entire. So
Yeah, if you
just
do
leave it blank,
partition by
sir.
department, so that means it will
Okay,
give me the maximum salary for it will create the frame using the department name, right?
okay.
So
Sir, I
HR will be
thought you
one.
want department wise. Okay.
No, I want the
So
total.
for the entire table, sir, then leave the, leave that blank, sir. Over
Yes,
partition by and then blank.
yeah. Then no,
Uh,
no, I'll not use partition by. No, if I wanted for the example entire table, I don't even need to write partition by. I can simply write over. Right? I can skip the
okay.
partition by altogether. Okay? So this means I'm not giving any partition. So this will take the entire table as one partition, and then it will find the maximum salary on the entire table. Right?
Yes,
So
yes.
let me give it a alias. Right? Max salary. Right? Is should this work? Yeah, from employee. Right? Now let me just run this. See. So 15,000 was the maximum salary, I think, in this table. 12,000. Sorry. Now I'm getting the maximum salary here, right? Now to answer, I think who asked me this question previously that what is the real world utility, Prashant? Yeah. So now one real world utility I can find in this particular problem. What if I tell you that show me that how much each employee, what is the difference between the maximum salary of the employee of the organization and the salary of each employee, right? So for example, if there are five people and the max, and let's say if Pramod is having the maximum salary, so if every employee wants to know how much is the difference between Pramod's salary or the maximum salary and my salary, so that if I want to find that, so how will I do that
You would
using window
subtract
function?
max salary minus the salary of each individual employee.
Who is this? Who is this?
It's Prashant.
Yeah, Prashant. So how will I do this?
Um,
Just tell me what will be the query. What will be the query here?
um,
I think you were right. You don't need to do anything. You just subtract these two
Uh,
columns, right? This is the max
before
salary we
AI.
have already done, right? So we have already broken by finding you have already broken this problem statement by first finding the maximum salary. Now you just need to subtract these two columns. So how will you subtract these two columns, right? You cannot max salary is a dynamic column. This column is created when you run this query, right? So you just have these four columns, but you know that you can find max salary. So what you do is you simply create another column which is salary minus. So this salary column we already have, but we don't have a max salary column. So you cannot give max salary as a name, but you can give this particular operation which you are doing, right, for each column. So till here. salary minus max salary over, right? And then you simply give it a alias as difference. Difference from max, right? So see, here you see, this person is 5,000 behind the maximum salary. This person is at zero. That means this person has having equal salary to the max salary. This person is 13,000 behind the maximum salary. So you see, you get the difference in how much far away you are from the maximum salary, right? So this is how you use the max function. There are other real world applications where the interviewer will ask you to find the running total, running averages, come with, or which I'll cover in a while. So I hope everyone is getting this and is going to
Hey,
follow.
hey, Neil, before here.
Yeah, Vibhor, tell me.
Yeah, instead of line number five, which code
Hmm?
you have written, if you put in a line in a row three, salary minus max salary as difference from max, is it with
Where?
is
Where?
it work?
Here, this one, this one.
Row number three,
Row number three. Okay, what do you want to do here?
select star, comma,
Hmm?
or you are asking the difference between the salary from maximum salary to the current salary of the employee, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So salary minus max salary as difference from max.
Salary minus
Max
max
salary
salary as
as
difference
difference
from
from max,
max.
yeah.
Right, let me give this. So you want to
And
say
remove
this
line
remove.
number five.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Let us see what will happen. Let me just comment this. I hope you know that when you put a double dash, so that comment this line out. So you don't have to delete it. So let us see how what will this give? It has written nothing. Let me just remove this as well. See, it is giving nothing. So now see that was a good question. Now I'll tell you what was the flaw in this question. What you have done here is you have done salary. The salary is okay. Salary will give me a salary for the particular. So it will be if you select the salary of the particular row. But when you do max salary, right? Max salary, it is not possible to create a max salary for the entire column, without doing these things, right? If you just want the max salary, let's say for example, select uh, max salary, right, from employee. So if you do this, you'll get the max salary, right? But if
Yeah,
you are
right.
adding anything after beyond that, let's say even if I put a select star, right, and I do a max salary, this will not run or
Group by
the
is
reason.
required here.
Hmm, hmm?
Group by will
Yeah,
be required
because
here.
if you add anything with an aggregate function, you will require a group by clause. Without group by, it will not know that how are you going to display this max salary against which column, right? I
Yeah, right.
understand this should be very intuitive that what you are saying is, and this should happen, but I think that's
Yeah,
how
we
this
have
program.
already done this type of problems in a previous
Yeah,
assignment.
yeah, yeah. So you understand, right? So it is not possible to get this. You cannot use aggregate function with any column name unless you group it by or unless you do some kind of operation, right? Aggregate function can be used solely, without any. If you want to use it without any group by, then you can just use the aggregate function. But if you want to use this with any other column name, then you will have to provide a group by, right? So this will not give you the correct answer. Though this is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
good question, but that's why this cannot happen. If this was possible, then ये सब पढ़ने की जरूरत ही नहीं होती. There was no need to
yeah,
study these
right.
things,
I got your
right?
point.
But
Yeah,
yeah, but that was a good question. That was a good question, and that shows that you people are attentive in the class and you are following like everything. So yeah, I like this question. Yeah.
thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Any other problem or like any other doubt? If not, then I shall move forward. Right, right. So now I'll just put several problems in front of you, and I'll just pinpoint. I think that's a good way. Here is what we have done. We have found the total maximum salary. Now I'll just remove this particular line. Uh, max salary, and then the difference between those. Let me just remove this difference column also. So here you have found the max salary for the entire table, right? This was easy, right? For the entire table. Now, what if I want the maximum salary for each department? Nothing, you know, very simple. Partition by department name, right? What will this give me for each department? So for admin department, the maximum salary is 3,000, so 3,000. For HR department, the maximum salary is 10,000, so 10,000, right? So this has given me 10,000, and then for every department. So what it has done is it has created a window or partition on this particular column, which is the department column, and then it will calculate. See, so what is happening, you know, first we are creating partition. So over clause is read first. You know, this is a problem with SQL. They simply should first define the partition and then do the operation, but you know it's very upside down thing in SQL. Just like you start the query from and then go upward. Similarly with window function, you start from over and then go backward. So first you divide the partition. What is the partition? Department name, right? So you get the partition, and then you see what are you going to perform in that partition. You're going to perform the maximum function. So you will find whichever is the maximum, right? And then you will uh, give the output as max salary. Right? So this was pretty easy, right? This was pretty easy. Now let us see what are other window functions which we are going to study. What are the window functions that are available? See, max you have done. There is a function called min. There's a function called sum. I think these three are pretty easy. We can do this. Let us move with some other function. Let us study. I think row number. Right? Row number will be a good function to study. Uh, Let me see if we can frame any other question here. Uh, I don't think there could be any other question. Yeah. So now let me just teach you what is row number function. So the syntax for row number is same, right? So this will be row num over something, right? And then as alias, right? So this is what just like this, you're going to apply the row number function. Now see what's happening with the row number, right? Let me just remove this particular line. Let me type. Just like you studied max, so there are multiple window function. Now we are learning row number. Row number over. Let me not specify something as, let me give this an alias rm, row number. Yeah. So now what do you think? What should this particular query return? As the name suggests, row number. See, row number, what it does is, I'll just open the Blackboard. So let's say again, I'll use the same table, employee ID, uh, employee name, employee department, employee salary. This is the column, right? Right? Uh, if I'm not partitioning, and if I create a alias as RN here, right? You can see there is the alias RN given here, right? This is the alias RN, and I'm specifying, I want the row number, right? So row number, what it does is it creates a special separate column called RN, and in this RN it will simply list the row number. So it will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Simply it will give a row number in the ascending order, right? So see, like pay attention what happens here. If I just run this query, see, for the entire table, since I've not partitioned it, so it will give me row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 12. So we have 12 rows, so 12 row number. Now, what if I want to now partition it by department name, right? Uh, or let me just, frame this in a manner which will, seem a little intuitive. Uh, let's see. Yeah, let me just partition it by first. Partition by department. What do you think will happen here? So now, just like the row number was happening on the entire column without partition, now the row number will happen on the entire department. So for one department column, it will run the row number from 1, 2, 3, 4, and then as soon as it switches to other department, it will again start the row number. So instead of 5, 6, 7, 8, right? You will get again 1, 2, 3, 4, and how many, like, depending on how many columns or how many rows you have, right? So now see, now I have partitioned by department name. See, for the admin department, there are two row numbers. For the HR department, there are four row numbers, and then again for the IT department, row number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then for the product department, 1, 2, right? Now, what is the utility of this particular query? Now I'll tell you, right? Now we'll go to problem statements, right? I hope you understand what is happening here. How is this query functioning? Now, what if I tell you that uh, find the mm, or before that, let us understand one more thing. In partition by or in the over clause, you can also specify a order by clause as well. Order by. Let's say if I am writing this, right, order by salary. What do you think is should happen? And let me say I want to order it by descending order, DESC. So what is this happening after it has created this partition department name, right? In this partition, how are you going to arrange this? How do you know that Johnson, the 3,000 salary should come first and the 2,500 salary should come down? Or here you see there's no order. It has randomly just created the frame. The HR, the first person in Rahul came first, Umkar came second, Priyanka came third, right? What if you want for every department, right? You want the person with the highest salary first, and then the lower, then the lower, then the lower. Like you want to descend, you have to arrange each person in each department in the descending order based on their salary, right? So you can do this. You can write this query. So what this query is doing is it is creating a partition of department name, partition by department name, and then in this department name, after you have gotten this partition, it is arranging the employees, or it is arranging the people in descending order of their salary, like order by descending, right? Very simple. There's nothing new that has happened. And now, when you have arranged this in descending order, then you give the row number for every employee or for the every row. See, earlier this was randomly allocated, like the first person, Rahul came first, then Omkar second. Now after 10,000 it will be 4,000, and then 5,000 will be here, right? And so the rank or the row number 3 would come for this 5,000 person and not for the 2,500 person. Just see what's happening here. See, what it has done is it has created partition by department name, and then it has ordered the department, or it has ordered the person based on the salary, so the highest salary come first, and then it has given the row number. Now see, now this is, once you understand how this works, so now this is going to be of great utility. If I simply ask you that find the highest salary in each department, right? This was easy. Okay, this you can do this using group by function. What if I want what if I tell you that I don't want group by function, but just give me the name, employee ID, department name, and salary of the person who is earning the maximum salary in each department, right? How do you do this? Anyone?
Yes, we can add extra where Rn equal to 1.
Yes. But do you think this will be enough? Because Rn is created in this particular query, right? So there's no Rn. If you write where, let's say if you write where, so it will
Okay, so
run from,
complete row number over partition by this thing equal to 1.
yeah, you can write that, or a better way, was subquery covered in the last class?
Yes, yes,
Subquery? Yeah.
subquery, yes,
So you
subquery.
can use subquery, right? So let's say now you have this table. Now let me just put this in a subquery, right? Let me put this in a subquery. And you have to give an alias. Let me give it an alias called X, right? Now let
Yeah,
me just select star from from this table X. Now you can give a where condition, where
where
X
x dot
dot
Rn equal to 1.
Rn, X dot Rn is, what if I just want the top salary? So X dot Rn is equal to 1, right? Should this give me? Yes. So see, from each department, I can get the entire. So you don't need to do any joins, or you don't need to do, all those things. You can simply use window function, and in 4 lines you get the answer, right? What if I tell you to find the top two salary? How will you do this?
Top to cells here
Rn
x
in
dot
1
Rn
comma 2 in bracket.
less than 3 we can put.
Yeah, I think, yeah, both ways is good, right? So I think one person told Rn in 1 comma. two. Yeah, so this is also a good way, right? So you can find the top two salary. See, in for the admin department, there are only two people. For HR, 10,000, 5,000. Yeah. So yeah, good. So I hope you're getting right. So see how window function makes your life easy, right? If you just understand where is this partition being created and what is the function that we are going to use, so it will make these calculations so easy. You can find every detail of the employee, the top one salary, top two salary, top three salary, right? And there are other problem statements which you can, find out using window function. Is anyone asking a question? Yeah, Pratik.
Yeah. Sir, what if we use having here in this case, sir? Suppose on in line number 14, after the table is
Okay.
made, if we instead of subquery, if we use having,
Where this one here?
yes,
You
having
so you want to
rn
remove this
equal to 1,
subquery?
and
You want to
instead if we
remove this
want to
entirely?
use having,
No, I'm not getting a question. Do you want to remove the subquery
so
or do
suppose
you
I
just?
want maximum in each department. So instead of using subquery,
Hmm.
after the table is made, sir, if I want to use
Okay, let us let
having
us
clause,
let us run this,
is
right?
it
Let us run
possible
this.
here in
I
this
think.
case?
Yeah, let us see. You know. So what you're saying is after you have done this from you want to use
Yes,
this having
having Rn is equal to 1, or suppose this
Rn
whole
is
line.
equal to 1.
Yes.
Okay, let us just run this. Let us see if this will give any result or not. So see, it is not giving any result, and why? Because you cannot use an alias Rn of an expression containing window function, right? See,
But I think
or
having is used only if after group by.
group by, right? So see, Pratik, that is a good question, but I mean, or let us just try this. I think he is not using, I mean, this is not allowing Rn, but let us just use this entire statement into the Rn, right? Let us see if this will run. So see, this is not running. So see, having you can only use it by group by, right? You cannot if you are using window function, then you'll have to go you'll have to go around this kind of way around. Having can only be used with group by or when you've aggregated the function. Here you're not aggregating it. Here you are just creating a partition and you're calculating over those partition, right? Having is a filtering condition which you use when the partition has been clubbed or it has been aggregated, like just like group by, and then it has been punched down, and then you use having clause to find what is the final outcome of that, right? So having will not work here. But that is a good question again. Any other question? Okay, no. So see, I hope you guys got how can use the row number function, and I can find the top two salaries or top three salaries. I can even find the top three salary. Here if I can just write one, two, three. So see, window function makes your life easy. Always remember that. And once you just understand where to create partition, how to create function, I'm sure that the interviewer will definitely like the candidate, or there's a greater propensity if you use window function unless and until very specifically mentioned, right? You'll have to practice this a lot because right now you might be understanding, but whenever you get a problem statement like word problem, it might be difficult to understand whether to use window function or not. But I think with practice and with assignments, you can do this. Now, on this particular table, I'm going to give you a small problem statement. I hope everyone tries this now. Let's say if I want to find the first two employee who joined the organization. Uh, I'll tell you what do I mean. Let's say employee ID in each department. Sorry. So I want to find the first two employee who joined in each department. For example, you see employee employee ID 001. He joined first. He joined second. So the latest employee get the highest employee ID number, right? Or he will get the latest employee ID number. Now this will vary across products. So for example, HR department 1001 joined first, then 1004, right? For IT department, 1002 joined first, then 1005 joined, right? Then 1008 joined, similarly, so on and so forth. So what if I tell you for each department, find the first two employee who joined the organization, and you have to use somewhere use the employee ID, right? So the first two employee ID for each department will be the first two employee who joined the organization. So how are you going to do this? Did you get the problem statement?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
So how are you going to do this?
we will do the partition by group name. Uh,
Okay. Look, wait. Let us slowly just type the query. So just give me the query. Let me just write the question. Uh, Fetch the employee details of the first two and yeah, the first employee. Let us just call this first employee who joined the organization in each department. So how are you going to like, what is the logic behind? Logic is nothing but you just have to find the uh, lowest employee ID or the first employee ID
Yes,
for each department. So how are you going to do this?
select
Very
star
simple. Select
star
star,
comma
hmm,
row number
row number,
parenthesis over
hmm,
employee ID, a partition by employee ID. Sorry, sir. For
Partition by
each
department.
uh, partition,
partition by. I want to find for department, so it will be department
uh,
name. Then
and uh, then order by
yeah, order by.
this employee ID.
Yes, absolutely right. So see, I'm glad that everyone is getting this. So when I'm asking the highest salary for each department, you simply order by using the salary. But if I want the lowest employee ID, right? Or if I want to, find some kind of lowest or highest in the employee ID, so I can simply order by employee ID. Simple. So are you just going to keep it employee ID, or are you going to write ascending, descending, or anything?
Like
Not required.
yeah, if
Not
you
keep
want
required,
it
right?
like
like
that.
Because by default it is going to be ascending, right? Okay,
Yes.
nice, nice. Now let us just give it a alias as
RM.
first employee. No, this will just give us a rank, right? Then I'll have to use subquery here to find the first employee. So this still here is okay. Now how will I find the first employee after this? Similar to the previous one, right? Just put this in a subquery, right? As x, where x dot rn is equal to 1, right? Select star from. Should this do the job? See, so admin department 1007 was the first employee, HR 1001 was the first employee, Mohan was the first employee in IT, and Abhishek was the first employee in product. Right? Simple. Are you guys following me?
yes,
Yes.
So you understand how this row number function is also. So row number is doing nothing but for each partition, it is giving us sequential row numbers 1 2 3 4, and those row numbers or how which row get what number, this can be decided by using order by, right? So if you want to arrange it in ascending or descending order, what if I tell you to find the latest employee or the employee who joined the last in the organization? How are you going to do this?
Descending way.
Descending.
Yeah, so I'll simply write a descending employee, right? So now I get the latest employee. So see, Mahesh in the product, use his employee ID 1009. Then Suresh, Prabhu, and Jasmine. So you're getting this how this is functioning. You can even remove this RN. Let's say if you don't want this RN number, so you can just specify the employee ID, employee name, department, salary instead of star. This is pretty easy, right? So I think everyone is following suit till here. So we have studied, I think, three window function today: max, average, not average, max. Just hold on. Yeah. So we have done max, row number, and the sum, right? So three window function uh, is covered. Let us see what else we can cover today. Mm, Let us see the first value, last value, and the end value. It is similar to this particular function which is row number, but now instead of finding row number or getting row number for each table. You can just find the first value. A similar question. Let me say, uh, let me just show you what is the syntax for this. Uh, the syntax is first value over, then you give alias as first value, right? So now for the same table, for the same question, if I ask you, right, for this table, if I ask you, find the maximum salary from each department, but not using row number, but using the first value. See, first value, what it does is nothing. But in the partition, it will just select the first row. Nothing. As simple as that. Just like the row number one. But if you just don't want to do this in a subquery, you just want to simply find using just the window function. You don't want to use subquery. You can use the first value function, right? So let me just copy this, right? Now instead of row number, I'll just find the first value. I'll just write first value. Let me remove this. Yeah,
A semicolon, I think.
is there anything missing here? Just give me a moment.
I think first value want any column name.
Yeah, there will be a for column name required. So I'm just checking that.
Sadly, we can put.
So first value of what, right? So let me just say that I want the first value of the salary, right? Why is this showing error? This shouldn't happen. Okay, I think I was using the
Same name.
syntax, the same name. So you don't use the same name. Yeah. So let me just call this first V. Right? So what if I run this? See, what is this doing? This is doing nothing but this is our table, and the first value when you arrange this or when you partition this by admin department name, and then you arrange this using salary descending, and then it simply picks up the first row, right? The first row. The first row is 3000, so it is displaying the first V. We have displayed the salary. What if I just want to display the employee name? So I can simply display the employee name. Employee name, right? So it will give me the employee name with the max or the employee who has the maximum salary, right? So Johnson is having the maximum salary in admin. Rahul is having the maximum salary in HR, and similarly, so on and so forth. So getting me? So did you get how you can simply navigate this and just find the details or the value of those the employee who's having a maximum salary. Similarly, you can do this for minimum salary. Similarly, you can do the first employee who joined, the last employee who joined, right? Let's say I don't want the entire this thing. I just want the first, so I can get this, right? Though this is not exactly what we want, but I think you can just at least when you do a dry run, you'll get to know that okay, these are the employee names that we want. Then you can use a subquery or something like that. Right? Uh, so this is how first value works, right? So similar working can be done. So there's no point in showing this name. So let us see how the use case of this could be similar to the previous question, right? If let's say I just want to show the salary, so the maximum salary, right? So here I can find the maximum salary, or the first salary descending order, and then I can use the difference between these two to find the difference, or depending on what problem statement we are solving, right? So this is what the first value does. Similarly, you can use the last value column, right? So let's say if I'm using last value, so last value will give me the lowest here. If I'm arranging the salary by descending order, it will give me the lowest. So who is the lowest? Lowest is 3000. Yeah. Uh, so so now I think few things. There are few other conditions which you will have to learn. I think window framing, but I'm going to teach that window framing later on. I think first value, last value will be better understood once you understand how is the frame between inside this frame. Like let's say if you have created a frame or a partition by department name, within that department you can create other frames, right? And this can be well understood when we do assignment. But for now, just like get your wrap your head around these three functions which we learned today, which is row number, max, sum, and similar thing you can do for average. So I think I already have a statement here for average. Let us just open this. Uh, so let us just run this once more. So this is our employee table, right? Employee name, department name, salary. What if I want to know the average salary in each department, right? So this is simple. You'll use the average function, one which I have used here. So sum function you can use to get the sum of each, the sum of the total salary in each department. So here you see as total salary in each department. Average you can use to find the average salary in each department. So average will do nothing but just sum these total salary and divide it by the number of employee. Right now, there's a thing called as running total. Now this is a like this is one of the very favorite topic for interviewers. I think let us. I want you all to pay attention. I think this is the last question or the last topic for the day. Now, what is running total? And running total is a very easy concept, but if you grasp it well, right? Running total is nothing. So let's say if I have this 1, 3, 7, 5, 4, 2, 7, 3. What if I tell you find the running total of this particular table? Running total is nothing but that particular row and the row previous to that, the sum of all those. So the running total for this row will be 1. For this row it will be 3 plus 1, 4. For this row it will be 7 plus 3 plus 1. So it will be 11, right? So similarly, 16, 20, 22, 29, and 32. So this is the running total, right? So sometimes interviewer will ask you to find the running total for particular table. Running total. Total is simple. Total is nothing but a total for this entire row. So it will simply add this, but you don't want that. You want running total means the sum of the value in that particular columns and the in that particular row and the row preceding to it. So this is called running total. So how will you do running total using window function? It is very simple. Let us say this is a column, right? Let me call this salary, the column as salary, right? Salary is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, right? And this is department HR, 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 IT, 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 right? What if I tell you that find the running total of each department, or forget department for now? Find the running total of this particular salary, right? How will you do this? Just pay attention to this query. Select star sum salary over as running total from table T1. See, this will not give me running total, but what will this give? This will give the sum for the entire table, right? Because I have not specified anything. So this will sum it, and for every column, for every row, it will give me the total. So whatever the total is, let's say the total is some X amount, so it will give me X, 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 X. But I wouldn't want this, right? I want a running total. So now see what I'm doing in this over clause. Since there's no partition by, so it's okay. I want this for entire table. But what if I write this? Rows unbounded preceding. Now, this might be difficult to you to understand, but this is simple syntax. You just have to by heart this, or you once you use it, you will understand what is happening. So, what is this particular thing doing when you just write row unbounded preceding? See, row. That means in whatever row you are performing, or you are, or your cursor is in, or or your machine is in, unbounded preceding, right? So, before that, preceding that, and go till the unbounded level, like there till the partition starts or ends, right? For example, there is no partition here, so there's no point in unbounded. But let's say that there was two partition, right? Let us understand using this example. And you are performing operation for this particular current row, right? So for this row will signify this particular row. Unbounded preceding will mean unbounded means it will go all the way till the end where the particular partition starts, and preceding means before, right? Unbounded. So now it is going to calculate the sum, or it is going to create a sub window, and it is going to calculate the sum over this particular frame, right? You can add a partition by here as well, but let us see that we have not added any partition by, or let us just add a partition by here, right? So that it will be more clear. Uh, Let me just take this particular example and expand. Let us say that there are department HR, 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 IT, 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 right? Salaries 10, 20, 30, 10, 40, 50, 60, right? So I'm doing this sum salary over partition by. Now let us partition this by department. Department, right? Uh, I'm not writing anything here. Let me just write this. Row unbounded preceding. This is a syntax, row unbounded preceding. Preceding it will have to go before. It has already partitioned by department. So for this particular partition, and for this particular partition, whenever you are at a particular row, you go beyond that till the partition, or from where the partition starts, and you sum over the salary, right? And you sum over the salary. So what you're going to do here is, and then let us just give this as running total, right? Running total. So what's happening here is, here you are summing over this partition, and you're summing only where the row, or where you are, and you're going back till the partition. So it will be 10 here. Now when you come to the other row, unbounded partition, it will go till here. So 10 plus 20, it will be 30. Then in this particular row, it will go all the way where the partition starts, unbounded. Since it is unbounded, so 30 plus 20 plus 10, so which will be 60, right? Now as soon as it moves to the next partition, right? Now you'll understand what's happening here. Row unbounded partition will not go unbounded till the very start. It will go unbounded till where the partition starts. So now it will start from here, right? So your current row is this. So 10, and unbounded partition, there's nothing before 10. So it will be 10, right? So now for 40, it will be 40, and unbounded preceding means it will go till the preceding, and unbounded means this is where the unbounded limit is. So 40 plus 10, so it will be 50, right? Here 50 plus 40 plus 10, so it will be how much? 100, and here it will be 160. So you're getting. So now for each partition, you can get running total. If you want this for the entire table, so you just remove this. So you will get the sum for the entire total. So are you guys following me? This might be a little tricky, but this is a very important concept, and interviewers can directly ask you that find the running total. And if you can just show your answer into just 2 lines of query, and if you understand this thing, interviewer will be very impressed that okay, this person knows how to do this. Did you guys get it? What I've done here? Now I'll just show this using a query here. So I think I already have a query here, but let us just do this, right? Let us just do this. Select star from employee. What if I want the running total of the entire, a column? So here it should be 1,000. Here it should be 10,000. Here it should be 25,000. Then 25,000 plus 2,000, 27,000, right? Running total of salary. What are you going to do? We don't want any partition by here. We don't want to partition it by any department. So what are you going to do? Sum salary, sum salary over unbounded preceding row unbounded preceding. Let me see whether this is rows. It is rows unbounded preceding as running total. Now see, we should get what we are expecting here. Over the entire table, since there's no partition, you from the particular this rows means from the current row, go all the way back where the partition is or where the partition start if there is, and preceding means before that, and then sum all those salary, right? So let us see what we're getting. So see what's happening here. For this particular row, when the machine is in this particular row, it is going to give a running total like 1,000 or 10,000. Then as soon as it goes down, 15,000 plus 10 or 25,000. Then it adds more to 27,000. It adds 4. So see, you're getting a running total, right? All the way long, all the way down till this particular area, right? Now, if I want the running total for each department, I can simply write partition by department name, right? PART partition by department name, right? So now it is going to give me running total for each department. See, 3,000, 3,000 plus 2,500, 5,500. Now, as soon as the partition is switched, this unbounded preceding will only work for this particular frame. So 10,000, 10,000 plus 4,000, 14,000, similarly and so on, and then for the different partition. This is a very like an advanced concept, but if you understand what this is going to make, this is going to impress the interviewer a lot. With just 3 line of query, you have found a running total. Now you can find this running total for each department, for the entire table, for the employee ID, for a similar employee, depending on where you want to apply the partition, right? Very easy, right? You can similarly use the function average and you can find the running average as well. Don't have to do anything. I just have to use average. So this will give me running averages. Similar action, nothing else, running average. So I hope you get what I mean by running total and running average. Everyone? Any question? Any question? Any question, anyone?
No.
Okay. So uh, uh, so I just want small feedback. So are you guys like did you guys like are you guys comfortable with window function or the basics of window function, whatever we have learned till now? Because these were
Yeah.
the very core concept of
Yes.
window function. But if you understand window function, it is going to be very easy for you to crack the interviews, because interviews may the interviewer asks at least 1 to 2 questions from window function apart from joins. The joins and window functions are the two core area where your interview is going to or area where your interviewer is going to focus on. So I just hope that you become very comfortable. This is a very basic. I think we'll take 2 more class to complete window function, but if you guys have understood window function in this class, I think it will be easier for you to understand in the next class. So running total, running average is what is window function, how we create the frame, what is this rows unbounded preceding? This was just one syntax. I think in the next class we are going to create dynamic frames within each windows, and we are going to calculate according to that. And there are a few other window function, I think lead, lag, nth value, which we'll study in the next class. So till now, I think everything was clear how you're going to use row number, how you're going to use max, how you're going to use min, right? Everything was clear, right?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes, clear.
Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. So, guys, I think in the next class, I think we will be solving problem statements from window function and a few more functions which I will teach is rank, dense rank. I just want that you guys, just revise whatever we learn in today's class. And I think W3 schools, or you can simply type, window functions, MySQL, and just go through the documentation, go through any blogs that you get. Just be very comfortable with window function, practice window function on your MySQL workbench, query editor. Just, you can just type in any table or the tables that you already have, E001, E002, and apply these window functions like max, min, row number, and just play with it, play around with it. And in the next class, I'll give you very specific problem statements to work on using window function. I think after we study rank, test rank, and other ones. So I think we are good with today's class. There is nothing more that I don't want to go into the advanced window function. Though window function is itself an advanced topic, but if you have understood this part, I think everyone will be comfortable with the next advanced part as well. Okay, if you guys have any question, I'll just pause for a few seconds. If not, then I think we'll end the class today. Any question?
No.
No. All right. All right. Cool guys. Cool guys. So I think let's just wrap up for today, and I think I'll meet you in tomorrow's class. And tomorrow we are having a guest lecture by a person of he's my friend, so he works as a product manager. So I think I want everyone to just attend this lecture. I think are you guys comfortable with the lecture in morning? Somewhere around 11, 12. Will you guys be able? It'll just be a half an hour lecture, but it will be start of an interview series. So how to start the interview, how to what are the questions that you might face, and how to be confident, because this is going to be the last phase of your preparation after how you are done with the technical part. So we're parallelly starting this interview series so that you can prepare yourself, so that when we start the placements or when we start the referrals in January, so you'll be more comfortable in handling the interviews. So just wanted to ask that you guys will be comfortable in the morning, right? Somewhere around 11, 12. Or if you have any suggestion, you can tell me. Or do you want the interview class in the evening, same time? What's your suggestion? Anyone?
Before here, I am comfortable with.
You're comfortable in the morning. So anyone who is not comfortable in the morning, somewhere around 11, 12.
Same time is best. Tomorrow I have an exam, so
Okay, you have an exam. So you want it in the evening, Lokesh?
yeah.
Okay, okay. So is everyone comfortable in the evening?
Yes.
All right, all right. So let's do this thing. So let us keep this in the evening itself. So I think I'll share the link tomorrow. I hope you guys attend tomorrow's class as well. Okay, so I think just let's wrap up for today. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, Neil.
Bye, guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye, 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 guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.